Hi, I'm River Lightbearer from River Evolutions Healing, Channeling, and Coaching, here to help you evolve into your best life and your best business. Um, I, as I announced a few weeks ago, in addition to the energy healing and channeling and mindset coaching that I've been offering all along, I'm starting to diverge into also offering some consultation and resources for coaches, healing practitioners, etc., who are looking to make their businesses more gender inclusive and or trauma informed. And I wanted to talk a little bit today about what gender inclusive might mean and what it might look like. Um, if you are somebody who does not believe that there are more than male and female genders, if you are somebody who does not believe you should have to change your business for anything, if you are somebody who, if basically, if this isn't your thing, this video isn't your thing. I did an interview recently with Lisa Marie Grantham, who is a wonderful spiritual coach or spiritual business coach, um, about gender and why being gender inclusive is important. And there were some pretty hateful comments left on that video. If you know, if you feel like leaving hateful comments on this one, I'm going to delete them. But there's no reason for you to. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. Just don't watch the video. If you have so much time on your hands that you can watch a video and spew hate at it, then I guess that's your choice. But again, I will delete comments that I deem to be hateful. My video, my decision. I hate having to put that disclaimer on things, and it may sound more belligerent than is warranted. But the reality is that people who are transgender or non-binary gender do get a lot of hate. Um, and I'm not here for that. I'm here to try to help change that in my own small way, and that's one of the reasons why I'm offering this consulting and will be offering resources in the future about this. So I am non-binary. I do not identify as male. I do not identify as female. Um, I don't actually identify as any gender. Gender is just a thing that doesn't resonate for me. I'm just me. And a technical term for that is agender, meaning not gender. Um, so that's one non-binary gender that exists. Some people are gender fluid, meaning they might feel male one day and feel female the next, and feel somewhere in between other days. There are a lot of different terms, and if I try to give them and define them all in this video, I'm going to miss some or mess up, so I'm not going to do that. But I've noticed in the spiritual and coaching communities that I belong to, mostly on Facebook, that there's a tendency for female business owners to say, I serve women. I offer energy healing to women. I do business coaching for women. And that's fine. If you only want to offer your services to people who are actually women, that's entirely your choice. It's your business. You get to make that decision. I'm not here to tell you you can't. But first thing to remember is that a transgender woman is a woman. It does not matter what is under her clothing. A transgender woman is a woman. If you are not willing, if you serve women but you're not willing to serve transgender women, that's something for you to consider. Why do you consider a woman to not be a woman? And again, because this was the part that got some hate in the interview Lisa Marie Grantham and I did, if you believe that you are what's between your legs, if you believe that a woman is somebody who was born with a vagina and uterus and a man is somebody who was born with a penis and testicles, and there's no varying from that, this isn't a video for you. And you can stop watching at this point. Or you can keep watching and see what you think at the end. That's your choice too. But a transgender woman is a woman. A transgender man is a man. A transgender man might have a vagina and uterus. A transgender woman might still have a penis and testicles. But that doesn't mean that the woman is any less a woman or that the man is any less a man. Gender, so biological sex or anatomical sex or whatever term you want to use is what's between your legs. When you're born, the doctor looks down, he sees a penis, he says that's a boy. He sees a vagina, he says that's a girl. That may have already been determined by ultrasound anyway. Gender is up here. Gender is not what your body shows, it's what your mind says you are. And it's not imagination, it's not choosing. It's, I didn't sit down one day and think, oh, I guess I'll be agender because that sounds kind of fun. I've always been this way. I didn't always have a word for it. But when I remember being 4 or 5 years old thinking, I don't want to be a girl. I'm not a girl, but I'm not a boy. If I'm not a boy, I guess I have to be a girl, but I'm not a girl. Like, I went through that so many times as a child. And I think I only said to my parents once, maybe twice, I'm not a girl, I don't want to be a girl. And they said, well, you are a girl, so deal with it, basically. Because we didn't, this was in the 1970s, we didn't know all the terms that exist now to explain the huge spectrum and nuances of gender. The internet didn't exist. It wasn't like I could go online and do research about it. Yes, there was a time when the internet didn't exist, for those of you younger viewers who may be watching. But, I didn't decide to be agender. I've always been. My child didn't decide to be transgender. They've always been. It's not a decision, it's not a choice. It's just a mismatch between your brain and the anatomical structures between your legs. I've seen people saying that the word cisgender is a slur or hate speech. It's not. Trans means across. Cis, C-I-S, means on the same side. It's literally just the opposite of trans. So if you're transgender, you identify as a gender other than what you were assigned at birth. Assigned at birth is what they look at you and they tell your parents you're a boy or a girl. Transgender means that you identify as a gender other than what you were assigned at birth. You are across that line. Cisgender means that you identify as the gender you were assigned at birth. You're on the same side. That's all it means. It's not a slur. And I know a lot of coaches and practitioners who do want to be gender inclusive. Like, they don't only want to serve women. They want to serve anybody who has had experiences that a woman might have had. They want to serve people of various genders, but they don't have the language for that. They don't know how to phrase that in their copy, in their videos, whatever. And so that's one of the things that I'm trying to help with. And it really can be as simple as saying, I serve non-binary, I serve women and non-binary people who were assigned female at birth. That sounds long, it sounds a little clunky, but really, if you know, if that's the population that you want to serve, if you want to be more gender inclusive than serving only women, then it can be that simple. I I belonged I've belonged to groups where the group members were consistently referred to as ladies or sisters, and I left those groups because I'm not a lady, I'm not a sister. Um, but you know, changing that kind of language is fairly easy too. Instead of ladies, you can say people, folks, um, humanoid life forms. um, if you, instead of sisters, you can say siblings, you can say family. You know, it's, some people seem to approach the idea of being gender inclusive as this huge, vast, overwhelming task. And it's not, it's just changing words here and there or adding words. You don't have to change your entire business. You don't have to change who you are. You don't even have to become, you don't even have to be gender inclusive if you don't want to be. That is your choice. You may lose out on some clients, but you need to be, you need to run your business in a way that is aligned with who you are. And if that means that you only serve women, then you only serve women, and that's okay. I'm not telling anybody that they're wrong for not being gender inclusive. I'm offering this video and the consulting and such that I'll be doing to people who want to be gender inclusive. So if that's not you, then that's okay. Not going to sit here and tell you you're a horrible person for it. Now, if you sit there and say, I'm a horrible person for being non-binary, we might have, well, actually, I won't have anything to say to you, but you know, you're allowed to believe what you believe. But I am going to close by saying gender isn't a matter of opinion. Like I and my transgender child have encountered people saying things like non-binary doesn't exist and transgender people are mentally ill, and when they're called on it, they say that's just my opinion. If your opinion negates the existence of an entire group of people and denies that those people have a right to exist, that's not an opinion, that's hatred. Hatred isn't an opinion. Just something for you to consider. I'll be back in a couple of weeks with another video. Again, I will delete any hateful comments on this one. So if you leave a comment and it disappears, I'm not screwing with your First Amendment rights because I'm not the government and this isn't a public place. Put your hate speech in your own venue. And I apologize to other viewers for sounding a little bit combative. I know that I sound combative. This is, it's a button pushing thing. But, you know, I honor everyone who is watching this video. You have the right to make the choices in your business and in your life. And I hope that you Take care.